Okay, well, admittedly it's a re-recording because the mic cut out previously, but I'll get my point across somehow. What I want to talk about is just the fact that essentially a lot of the time, and this is very important for me, a lot of the time love is mistaken for hate or is taken for hate. I don't know if sometimes they genuinely believe that it's hate or not. But I'll say this much. If you say something, and this doesn't matter if it's family, doesn't matter if it's, people online, if you say something that you believe comes from a place of love, and the transgender issue is probably the most obvious choice to make for an example. I would say something like, I want to see transgender people become confident in the body and comfortable in the body that they were born with. I want nothing but the best for them, but I don't think that genital mutilation is the way to go, and especially not at young ages where puberty blockers are involved. And that is interpreted as, wow, you really hate transgender people. And I can't help but think, what are you on about? Do you actually believe that's what I think? Do you think I hate these people? I want to see them burn and die? Or do you just use this as a get out of jail free card? This is like a shut him up so we can't say anything. Because it could be either of the two. It could be they genuinely think that we are hateful people, or it could just be a way of shutting up political opponents. Now the problem is, over here in the UK, our own Prime Minister, who is supposed to be one of us and defend his own people, says to the world that we have freedom of speech and that he's very proud of it, and that we've had it for a very long time. However, he also claims that they will make an effort to shut down hate speech. The problem with that is that hate speech, this isn't maths, this is more like art, this is down for interpretation. So when he says he's going to shut down hate speech, what does that mean? It means speech that they hate. Quite frankly, that's all that means. And so, opinions of people like mine and other people, it becomes a criminal offence to say these things out loud. And I can't help but think that's absolutely disgusting. So, when confronted with this problem of people saying you're being hateful and you personally don't think you are, it's a really tricky navigation to make, and you have to treat it by a case-by-case basis. My personal interpretation, the way I personally navigate it a lot of the time is by saying that I have a lot of love for these people and I want to see the best for them. But what I believe is the best for them, what someone else believes is the best for them, is not often the same thing. And so that's the problem. We're trying to get the best for these people, but by different methods. I personally think it's more hateful to allow a child to go through puberty blockers and treatment at such a young age and make irreversible changes that statistics can prove lead to a very high suicide rate. So it's not just transgenderism though. I've gone off on a bit of a tangent. It's everything. And the problem is when people label things as hate speech, it becomes okay to commit vicious crimes against these hateful people. When the idea of hate speech is used to demonize your political enemy, it also completely dehumanizes them. And that's the only way that I can explain the reactions that I've seen to the murder of Charlie Kirk. Only if you believe someone is subhuman could you laugh at the thought of them, despite being a father and a husband and a son. It's the only way I can see that being a laughable joke. They are subhuman, and if they don't matter. So mistaking someone's love for hate on the surface of it seems a bit annoying, but it's something that really needs to be addressed, something where some action needs to be taken, because I don't want to see more people get murdered for having views and opinions that are very similar to mine.